I was a wedding photographer, and I think in the back of my mind, I thought maybe one day in my 60s or 70s, I might be rich enough to have a nice big house that I could do weddings in. But it never occurred to me that I would own a wedding venue. So I was helping a couple find a venue. And in the process of helping them find a venue, I then found out there was a venue for sale. And I just had that crazy what if moment. And I phoned one of my friends and was like, hey, how do you feel about coming in on this with me and getting a wedding venue? And luckily, he also doesn't think things through that well and was like, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's go have a look at it. And so that is how, I mean, the story is much longer, but that's a very concise version of how we found our first wedding venue.
And when you went to look round, how did you kind of, from getting him on board, what was your next step in turning it into the business venture it is?
So I kind of didn't really tell Stuart the truth when he came to have a look at it, because we'd always had like a bit of a loose conversation. He was a serial entrepreneur and had a number of businesses. And we'd had a loose conversation in the past about maybe getting a business park. There's a lot of business parks in Sussex that have, all these barns that have been converted. And I thought, well, during the week, Monday through Friday, he could have his businesses in the barns. And then there would be like another barn somewhere on site that I could turn into a wedding venue. And maybe on Saturday and Sunday, we could have nice weddings in the barn. It was never a serious conversation, but it was kind of like a loose, put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
So when I said to him, oh, I think I found our wedding venue, that was what he was thinking of. So when we drove down the drive, he's got, quite a good Scottish accent. And he was like, Sam, this isn't a barn. And it was quite a funny moment because it's a 14th century building and it's definitely nothing like a barn. And I was like, I know, right? Isn't it great? And he was like, this is not quite what I was thinking.